So take the hands to the knees. Find that comfortable seat, feeling the sits bones underneath you. Give yourself some time to rock back and forth, perhaps side to side. Finding your center, left to right, front to back. And when you establish center, feel a bit more weight dropping down through the tailbone as if plugging in to a three-prong outlet. Feeling your energy draw directly down to the core center of the earth, tethering you in place, and drawing healing energy up from the core center through the root chakra, all the way up the center channel of the spine and out the crown of the head, connecting you to what is above you. If you think of yourself like a tree, your roots are growing down, your leaves are reaching up toward the heavens. So take this time to establish that center, and then allow your breath to move up and down that thread. As you breathe in, rising from base of spine to crown of head. As you breathe out, energy dropping from crown of head to base of spine. And if your mind wanders away from the breath, perhaps attaching a little point of light to it and watching it rise up, up, up. It pauses at the top before it drops down. It pauses at the bottom before it rises up again. And with each breath, allow your breath to become more full, more expansive. Starting into mantra, thinking about the base of your spine, and will rise up with each change in mantra. At the base of the spine, we imagine red as we repeat, I am safe, I am strong, I am powerful. Deep breath in and out. Low belly, imagining orange light glowing there. I feel safe, I feel strong, I feel powerful. Breathing in and out. Center of the belly, yellow light. I create my own strength, power, and safety. Breathing in and out. Center chest, green light. I love my safety, my strength, and my personal power. Breathing in and out. Center throat, blue light. I speak words of safety, strength, and power to myself and others daily. Breathing in and out. Center forehead, light blue. I see all the ways in which I am safe, strong, and powerful. Breathing in and out. Crown of the head, purple light. I know all of the ways that I am safe, strong, and powerful. Breathing in and breathing out. Let your chin drop down to your chest here, feeling a gentle release across the back of your neck. And allow your breath to to let you notice the sensation that you feel in the body as you breathe in. And release any tension around that sensation as you breathe out. Roll the right ear to the right shoulder, noticing that sensation and breathing through it. Dropping the chin through the chest, the left ear will come to the left shoulder, noticing the sensation and breathing through it. Dropping that chin through the chest, leveling the head up. We're going to take our time to get onto hands and knees, coming to tabletop pose. Spreading the fingers wide, taking the tops of the feet to the floor so you feel the top of the feet, the shins, the hands connecting. And take a breath in, belly drops, chest lengthens. Inhale. Press into the floor, round the spine, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, breathe out. And take two more at your pace. Feel the body expand and open with your breath in. And round and contain with your breath out. One last time through. With your spine rounded, push your hips gently back towards your heels. When you start to feel the low back stretch, stay there and notice the sensation. Shift your hips slightly to the right side. Notice how that changes the stretch. Shift your hips through center and slightly to the left side. And as you shift through center, bring your spine back to neutral, hands and knees. Let's take the blocks. Now you can use books at any time too, so if you have a book, like at school, you can do that. Let's step your right foot through, dropping those hips forward and down. And when you arrive, we're gonna just start to work from the base upward. So spread your toes, lifting them up, and then drop the toes down to the floor. Be very aware of your foot. Closing the eyes, noticing that right foot. Taking a moment with the right hip crease to gently drop back and drop down deeper. Yes. Notice the front of your left thigh. Notice the top of your shin and your foot on the floor. Let your shoulders relax down your back. And really notice the sensation that you feel and where it's landing. Two more breaths here. Pushing your hands into the blocks, you'll send that right leg long, lifting the foot up, just resting the heel. Lift the chest up away from the leg just a bit. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Yes, feel how that intensifies the stretch in the back of the leg. Give a gentle pull back through the right heel. It's going to plug the femur bone into the hip. And notice the hamstring here. If you want more intensity, engage the quadricep muscle at the top of the thigh by pulling up on the kneecap. You'll feel more quadricep or more hamstring there. Notice the back of that right leg. Notice where you might be feeling tension or gripping. Try and relax it. And then we're just going to start to move in and out of the lunge to half split. So you'll take a breath in to lift and a breath out to drop. Breath in to lift. Breath out to fold. In to lift. Out to drop. Last time in to lift. Out to fold. From here, let those blocks come outside of your right ankle. Imagine that the center of your chest could reach for the upper right corner of the room. Feeling this change in the stretch as it comes toward the outer part of your hamstring. Moving the blocks to the left just off of your mat. Keep your hip pulled back to square. Lengthen your chest as if it's reaching through the center of those blocks to the left corner of the room. Feel how that changes the stretch and brings it to the inner thread of the hamstring and the adductors. From here, let's start to walk forward, bending the knee. Take your left block flat and your hand on top of it. Right hand to the knee, toes turn cornerwise. Peel that knee open, drop the hips down. Let your elbow wrap in toward your rib cage on the right as you twist and look over your right shoulder. You should start to feel the front part of that left thigh, a little bit of the low back, and inner thigh on the right. Slowly take that back through center, hand to the right block. Send right knee under left, or right knee under hip, and blocks underneath your hands. Round your spine with your hands on the blocks. Shift your hips back as if you're gonna sit on the heels, but you'll just feel nice length across your low back. And then take it back up to neutral. Stepping your left foot through. And shifting your hips forward and down. Again, lift the toes here. Spread them and drop them down. Notice the sole of your foot as if riding on 4 wheels. Notice how you can pull back through that left hip a bit. We're going to draw the right hip slightly forward. Send those hips down. Send the shoulders down the back. And notice your breath. Pushing into those blocks, you're going to lift the hips, lengthen the left leg, sending that foot up toward, or toes up toward your face. Once you feel sensation here, soften the knee a tiny bit and pull back through left hip. Yeah, then you're going to feel even more. Breathing here into the sensation of the hamstring. Moving in and out. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out to drop. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out to fold. One more. Up to lift and out to drop. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out, fold. Once you establish foundation, start to walk the blocks outside of the left ankle, lengthening the chest diagonally up toward the left corner of the room. Notice the sensations in your body and soften where you're gripping. Notice the space between the brows, the corners of the eyes and the lips. And then begin to walk your blocks out to the right, keeping the hip squared back to the left. Good. And lengthen diagonally to the upper right corner of the room. You start to walk your blocks forward, right block flat, right hand to block, bending left knee, coming into that lunge. Toes turn cornerwise, taking that knee out. Elbow draws in, little twist here, looking over that left shoulder, ringing out through low back. And let's take it right back through center. The blocks can come off of your mat, knee underneath your hip. Hands down, cat-cow here, closing the eyes. Notice the body now, notice the hips, the fronts of the thighs, and maybe how they might feel a tad different than they did when we began. As you come to your neutral spine, you're gonna walk your hands forward, coming into happy puppy pose. So tailbone lifts, chest drops. Elbows can bend out to the side if that's easier on the shoulders. Just allowing the heart to open. Feeling how the chest expands and the shoulder blades kind of soften into your back as you exhale. And then you're going to slowly slide forward onto forearms. Good. Letting the upper arms come to the ears and the head drop heavy off of the shoulders. Now in this position, you can adjust elbows forward, back, in or out, depending on the sensation you wish to feel. Let the head drop even heavier with your exhale. And then start to turn your gaze toward your right upper shoulder, just until you feel sensation in the neck. Bring it back to center. As you inhale, take it to the left. Exhale to bring it back to center. From here, right hand is going to come underneath your forehead. Left hand is going to reach back for left leg. Pulling the heel down toward the glute, you're going to push the front of the hip into the floor. And imagine that your knee is kind of tracking toward the back edge of the mat. Once you arrive there, pull the belly button up into the spine and see if that deepens the sensation. It should come from the low belly into the hip and down the quad. Good, let's release that. And we're gonna switch sides, but hold on 1 second and make a little pillow with your forearms, rest your head, bend both knees, windshield wiper from side to side with the feet, and notice the difference between the two sides here. Relax the left leg. Take your right hand back to grab the right foot. Pulling that heel down toward the glute, pushing the front of the hip into the earth, pushing that knee gently back. And then the last cue is to pull that navel up and start to feel from low belly to top of knee. Slowly release right side, taking the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to press up and then come to sit on your right hip with your right shin forward. Yeah, you're going to try and take it parallel to the short side of the mat. And we're going to slowly walk the hands over that shin. Feeling a little bit of inner thigh here, perhaps a little bit of outer hip, right side. Now you're going to shift your weight forward so that you can extend your left leg back behind you, coming into pigeon pose. Squaring that right hip off, making a pillow with your forearms, resting your forehead down. I'm going to prop underneath your hip. You should be feeling the outer hip and glute of the right leg. Again, noticing where you feel sensation in the body, allowing yourself to know it is temporary. You notice it as you breathe in. You soften around it as you breathe out. One more breath here. Let's start to walk the hands up. You'll grab one block, placing it under right hand. Reach back with left hand, grabbing left foot. Pull the heel up. Good. Squaring that left hip a little bit. You may come off that blanket a little bit if you need to, like it might lift up. Good. Just feel that quad. Lift your chest. Good. Feel it even deeper. And slowly release. Both hands to the floor, block off the mat. You're gonna slide, you can kind of kick that blanket out, slide that right knee out so you're in a little half frog leg here. And in half frog, you're gonna push the knee gently outward and push the hip gently downward. You should feel from inner groin to inner knee stretching. Next inhale, lift your foot off the floor. So it's coming up, yep. Just feel that rotation in the hip. And then lower it down. Extend that right leg behind you. Again, pillow with the forearms. Bend your knees and windshield wiper. Just notice the difference between the two sides. Relaxing the legs down. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Up to tabletop pose. And shift to the left hip now. Same series, other side. Starting with that shin parallel and walking the hands forward. Just starting to feel a little bit of the sensation here in the inner thigh. And on your next breath, you're going to shift gently forward, kind of over that shin, so that you have room to walk that right leg back and lengthen it. Kind of into pigeon. I'm going to prop that hip for you. Resting the forehead down if that feels right for you. You can always one potato, two potato the fists if you have to. Notice where you feel the most sensation. Notice where you might be holding on, and try and soften. Thinking of the sensation like a flame and the softening like the wax around it. Without that heat and that flame, that candle wax can't melt. One more breath. Starting to walk your hands up. Last time that you'll need a block, you'll take it under your left hand. Reaching back with your right hand. Pulling that heel toward the glute. Lifting the chest up. Feeling that come into your quadricep. And release. Block can come out. Sliding that left foot out, little half frog. You got it? That's fine. And then just rest your forehead as you slide that knee out. And on your next inhale, lift your heel up. Good. Just notice the rotation in the hip. Slide that leg down and back, and windshield wiper those feet side to side. Relax the feet down. Take the hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to come back up and press back to your child's pose. Extend the arms, hips come to the heels. Let the forehead rest. And let your palms face upward now, thumbs coming toward the outside of the mat. Notice this in the shoulders. Breathe in, feel the expansion up and down the spine and to the left and the right. Breathe out, feel that containment, everything sliding back into place. You're going to come up through hands and knees, coming back to a seat on your mat. And take your hands to those knees. Good. Lift your chest up. Breathe in. Round out. Breathe out. Kind of hang out here. Pushing shins forward into hands. Pulling hands back into shins. And just breathing there for an inhale and an exhale. And when you're ready, you're going to come all the way down using the blanket as a little pillow. And you'll hug your knees right into your chest, rocking a bit from side to side. Massage